In the heart of the Canadian Rockies, nestled among towering peaks and pristine wilderness, stands the majestic Banff Springs Hotel. This grand chateau style resort, built in 1888, isn't just famous for its stunning architecture and luxury accommodations. It's also home to one of Canada's most enduring ghost stories, the tale of the Banff Springs Bride. The story begins in the late 1920s, during what should have been one of the happiest moments in a young woman's life. According to legend, a beautiful bride was preparing for her wedding ceremony in one of the hotel's elegant upper floors. She was wearing a flowing white wedding gown, complete with a long trailing veil, the perfect picture of bridal beauty against the backdrop of the magnificent hotel. As the story goes, the bride was descending one of the hotel's marble staircases, making her way to meet her groom in the Cascade ballroom below. The staircase was grand and steep, illuminated by ornate crystal chandeliers that cast a warm glow on the marble steps. The bride's dress was particularly elaborate, with a long train that followed her as she made her careful descent. What happened next has become the stuff of Canadian folklore. Some versions say the bride was startled by something and lost her footing. Others claim her dress caught on the stairs. In yet another version, one of the candles that lined the staircase ignited her gown. Regardless of the exact cause, the outcome remains the same in all tellings. The young bride fell down the marble staircase to her death, never making it to her wedding ceremony. Since that tragic day, staff and guests have reported numerous encounters with what they believe to be the ghost of the unfortunate bride. The most common sighting is of a spectral figure in a flowing white wedding dress, dancing alone in the hotel's ballroom. Witnesses describe seeing her graceful figure moving to unheard music, perhaps eternally waiting for the first dance she never got to share with her groom. Others have reported seeing her on the very same marble staircase where she supposedly met her fate. The apparition is said to appear particularly on the hotel's upper floors, often ascending or descending the stairs in her wedding dress, the fabric making no sound as it trails behind her. Some guests have even reported feeling a cold breeze or an unexplainable presence when passing through this area of the hotel. What makes these sightings particularly intriguing is their consistency over the decades. The descriptions of the bride's appearance rarely vary. She is always described as wearing a flowing white wedding dress, her face often obscured by a veil, moving with an otherworldly grace through the hotel's historic corridors. The hotel staff has embraced this supernatural resident as part of the building's rich history. While they maintain a respectful attitude toward the story, they acknowledge that the tale of the Banff Springs Bride has become an integral part of the hotel's identity. Tour guides often include her story in their historical presentations, and the hotel's heritage documentation includes numerous accounts of encounters with the spectral bride. Interestingly, despite extensive research, no historical records have been found to confirm the actual identity of the bride or the specific incident that supposedly led to her death. This lack of historical verification hasn't diminished the power of the story. If anything, it has added to its mystique. The absence of concrete facts has allowed the legend to evolve and grow, becoming more elaborate with each retelling. The ghost story has also become intertwined with the hotel's architectural history. The marble staircase where the tragedy allegedly occurred still exists, though some sections of the original hotel have been renovated or rebuilt over the years. Visitors often pause on these steps, trying to imagine the events of that fateful day, some claiming to feel an inexplicable sadness or energy in that specific location. The Banff Springs Hotel's bride isn't the only supernatural resident reported at the property. Over the years, guests and staff have reported various other paranormal phenomena, from the ghost of a former bellman named Sam, who allegedly continues his duties in the afterlife, to mysterious sounds and unexplained occurrences in various rooms and corridors. However, the bride remains the most famous and frequently reported spectral resident. Her story has captured the imagination of visitors from around the world, adding an element of romantic tragedy to the hotel's already rich history. The tale has been featured in numerous books about Canadian ghost stories and paranormal investigations, and it continues to attract curious visitors hoping to catch a glimpse of the ethereal bride. The persistence of this ghost story speaks to something deeper in our collective psyche. The image of a bride, symbol of new beginnings and happiness, meeting such a tragic fate on what should have been the happiest day of her life, resonates with people on an emotional level. It's a reminder of life's fragility and the way joy and tragedy can be inexplicably intertwined. The story has also evolved to reflect changing times and sensibilities. Modern retellings often focus more on the emotional aspects of the tale, rather than the gruesome details of the accident. Some versions suggest that the bride's spirit remains not out of vengeance or anger, but because of unfinished business, the celebration of love that was tragically cut short. Paranormal investigators who have visited the hotel over the years have reported various unusual phenomena. Some have recorded unexpected temperature drops in the areas associated with the bride's appearances. Others have captured mysterious orbs in photographs or recorded unexplained electronic voice phenomena. While none of these investigations has provided conclusive evidence of supernatural activity, they have added layers to the ongoing mystery. The hotel's management has taken a balanced approach to the ghost stories. While they don't actively promote the supernatural aspects of the property, they acknowledge the historical and cultural significance of these tales. The stories have become part of the hotel's charm, adding an element of mystery and romance to its already impressive character. For many visitors, the possibility of encountering the Banff Springs bride adds an extra dimension to their stay. Even skeptics find themselves drawn into the atmosphere of possibility that surrounds the legend. The grand hallways and staircases of the hotel, particularly in the quiet hours of evening, seem to hold the potential for something extraordinary. The story of the Banff Springs bride has transcended its origins as a simple ghost story to become a significant piece of Canadian folklore. It represents the intersection of history, romance, and mystery that makes ghost stories so compelling. Whether or not one believes in supernatural phenomena, the tale serves as a poignant reminder of the human stories that give historic places their character and depth. As the Banff Springs Hotel continues to welcome guests from around the world, the legend of its ghostly bride endures. Perhaps she still waits in those elegant halls, eternally dressed for a wedding ceremony that never took place. Her story serving as a bittersweet reminder of love, loss, and the mysterious ways in which some souls seem to remain connected to the places that meant the most to them in life.